Claims have emerged that forest industries in Indonesia is believed responsible to end all deforestation and all ecology and forest sustainability issues, such as issues that relate to local communities and workers' rights, deforestation and degradation. In 1990, forest certification was introduced to respond to deforestation and forest degradation concerns, also to encourage wildlife preservation, especially in tropical countries. Emergence of forest certification as a potential instrument to conserve forest sustainability, IFCC certification is aimed to better forest management and workers' conditions, but many are still not convinced. Sustainable forest management is believed still weak. Meanwhile, other stakeholders' involvement, for example non-profit organizations, are limited. The 2012 Federal Trade Commission's Green Guide emphasizes that for claims submitted to be truly credible and relevant to their products and confirmed through certification bodies or third parties, IFCC develops its standards based on the Rio de Janeiro Conference. IFCC standards are developed by an establishment of a standardization committee, a public consultation, a final consensus, and a publication process. In IFCC certification system, the process of implementing a certification is carried out by a credible certification body accredited by a credible accreditation institute and also a member of the International Accreditation Forum. Our standards are also internationally accredited. As part of our check and balance mechanism for our certification, we developed a complaints and appeal procedure for the public. IFCC certification standard combines the concept of continuous improvements, plan, do, check, and act, and environmental, ecological, social, and economic sustainability principles. The main requirements in IFCC Sustainable Forest Management Certification Standards consist of compliance with applicable government and international regulations, forest management planning, evaluation, and information disclosure. Compliance with the principles of environmental sustainability is a form of management of functions and protection of forest resources. The fulfillment of social principles covers the respect for the rights of local communities and indigenous people in utilizing forest resources, fulfillment of workers' rights and welfare. With this video, we are proud to share examples of IFCC certified forest management unit and industries in Indonesia. This is the Kampar Rio River. Located in West Sumatra, Riau, it disembogues into the Malacca Strait. The upstream of the river generates the Koto Panjang hydropower. Waves in Kampar River is maintained due to the river water discharge and the sporting environment around the river. The forest that stretches along the river supports the flow of river water. HTI development along the river is an example of sustainable forest management. The large area of production forest in Indonesia is the main reason the Indonesian government has established rights for companies based in Indonesia to develop industrial plantations. HTI was developed to maintain carbon stocks, preserve the biodiversity, and utilize forest products through forest management. To achieve sustainable production from plantation forests, only highest quality of seeds are planted. Woods from the plantation are then transported to pulp mills. There are two types of wood transportation, by truck and by barge. Wood transported to the pulp mills are escorted by a delivery form and a government wood transportation form. IFCC PEFC certified woods are stamped IFCC PEFC on their forms. At the gates, woods are then checked for their document legalities, quality control, and conformity between environmental status sign and its documentation. Some of the woods are delivered to the woodyard with documents indicating their status. IFCC PEFC certified woods are stamped IFCC PEFC. From the woodyard, woods are transported to the chipping machine where they are chipped into chipwoods. The chipwoods are blended into pulp in the form of wet pulp and dry pulp. For integrated pulp and paper mills, wet pulp is transferred directly from pulp mills to the paper mill. While for non-integrated pulp and paper mills, the wet pulp is converted into pulp sheets, stacked into dry pulp bales, and shipped from the pulp mills to the paper mill. At the paper mill, pulp as raw material for paper making is blended to produce into jumbo roll papers. These jumbo roll papers are then proceeded into cutting process to produce cut-size papers. Cut-size papers proceeded into packing and wrapping process. For PEFC IFCC certified paper, the PEFC and IFCC logos are printed on the product's wrapper. As a certified FMU, safeguarding the plantation and surroundings from forest fire is a top priority. Fire towers, organizing fireman squad, providing fire equipments such as water bombing and fire hand tools.
More than 50% of the Indonesian greenhouse gas emissions comes from land-based activities. To support the Paris Climate Agreement, Indonesia has committed to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 29% by 2030 against a business-as-usual baseline scenario. To support this, many Indonesian forestry industries, including April, has implemented zero deforestation, no forest degradation, and zero fire policy. Looking the way forward, Indonesia needs science-based information to guide sustainable land use planning and management policies. April has deployed 3 eddy coherence flux towers in 3 different peatland ecosystems, a unique investment for the company. This technique provides measurements of greenhouse gas exchange between the ecosystem and the atmosphere. This technique is well accepted among scientific community because this provides every 30 minutes measurements, and each measurements represent the property of area more than 200 hectares. For this project, we are working with different national and international scientific community. So information from this project is relevant to scientists and policymakers for improving greenhouse gas emission factors for different land uses in peatland. And also the information will be useful for guiding the science-based land use policy. And overall, this project serves national and global scientific needs.
HTIs are managed with social principles that benefits local communities. A community livelihood rubber plantation area developing rubber sap, supplying Indonesia's tire factories.
Nama saya Purnomo, umur saya 39 tahun. Saya bekerja di sini sudah 3 tahun.
To maintain sustainability of the environment and protect its flora and fauna, allocating a portion of the production areas into conservation and biodiversity areas is the used method. Our certifiees have implemented an ecosystem restoration program to protect, restore, and rehabilitate the ecosystem. An example is a program from April in Riau, covering 150,000 hectares in Kampar Peninsula and Padang Island. On the social front, our certifiees have for years carried out a wide variety of programs to improve the welfare of local communities with emphasis on women empowerment. Socially, April has carried out programs to improve local communities' welfare, emphasizing on women empowerment.
Saya Ibu Siti Nurbaya. Kebetulan saya memimpin di rumah batik ini sejak tahun 2014, di mana awalnya rumah batik ini berdiri tahun 2013. Pelatihan pertamanya kita kerjasama dengan pembatik-pembatik yang ada dari Pekanbaru. Awalnya kita membuka rumah batik ini adanya inisiasi dari perusahaan RAPP bersama ibu-ibu yang berada di sekitaran perusahaan.
Sustainable forest management requires a firm commitment from all parties involved. And as a consequence, they also need huge investment. IFCC, by use of its certification standards, which include the procedures, will do our best to ensure that those commitments are met.